Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully everyone's doing well this Friday. Just a quick weekend forecast or a little recap of what we have expected for the next 3 days here. So if you're appreciating this one, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. This will be a brief one, so we'll be pretty quick about it. So really the first thing to talk about, if anything at all really, is going to be the winter storm severity potential over the course of the next few days. And really this isn't going to be a thing until late Sunday into Monday, mainly across the Rockies and the Sierras. Nothing else of major interest to talk about, with the exception of this one little pocket over here towards the Appalachians. Impacts overall aren't going to be that significant. A lot of these areas are pretty well prepared for what lies ahead here with this system, so not really too much we got to worry about there. So just to be sure, we'll show day one. As you can see, the colors are pretty much standard here, just minor impacts, just a winter weather area in general, a couple of yellow areas at best. And then of course Saturday, here we go again. We have pretty much a similar look there. It's really not going to be until day 3, which would be Sunday, where we start to see those moderate impacts really start to become more prevalent. So for the most part, looks like we're going to be dealing with a relatively quiet weekend. No severe weather expected so far, but of course we always have to look out for Florida magic. Big topic, of course, this weekend will mainly be the cold temperatures. We've already kind of talked about this in greater detail in some of the other videos. Some of those will be linked in the top right corner as well, so feel free to click on that so you can get a little bit more information. But really, it's going to be tonight and tomorrow where we're going to be dealing with some of the coldest of temperatures. By the time we get into Sunday, we do start to see a small warm-up. Albeit, it's still going to be pretty frigid, but at least by the time we get towards the end of the weekend, we're not going to be seeing those below zero temperatures. But while we are going through the weekend with the winds, even if you aren't getting up to wind advisory criteria, where we're dealing with the 10-20 mile per hour gusts with a temperature of, let's say, 5 degrees, that will be more than enough to create a wind chill that is able to spark wind chill advisories and a few wind chill warnings. We're back at that again. So unfortunately, these cold winds from the north, a little bit of a metal theme there, but these cold winds coming in from the north here are definitely going to make things a little bit more uncomfortable as we go through the day on Saturday in particular, especially if you're over here towards the Appalachians and just off the lakes here. Lake effect snow is going to be pretty big here as well as we look at this storm system here, but I think that the impacts are going to be relatively isolated, but wherever you do get impacts, they could be significant. Look how strong the winds are coming from this storm that's over here from the area east of the Rockies here. Look at South Dakota here dealing with those 50+ mile per hour wind gusts. Probably somewhere up in here, I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a 60 mile per hour gust. So maybe a couple of high wind warnings could be possible here. I haven't seen any so far, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. But this is pretty much what we're dealing with as far as winds this weekend are concerned. This next storm system that's coming in, we'll be watching that as well. But I do think as we get later into the week, this is going to eventually start to taper off a bit. So that being said, here's our wind chill. You can actually get to see an index along with the term here. Like I said, really tonight is going to be the time where we're dealing with some of our coldest temperatures and lowest wind chills here. So we're mainly staying in the -20s. At times we've seen some models showing -30, so seeing a little bit of a drop off here, that's a somewhat reassuring sign. But nonetheless here, wind chills throughout the day tomorrow are going to be pretty wild. Seeing Atlanta barely getting above a wind chill of 15 is unbelievable. It's unheard of to me. And then also other areas off to the south and east as well. Little Rock barely making it to a wind chill of 20. That's crazy. Over here towards Texas, I don't even think I see a wind chill of 30. Okay, there we go. There's one. But for the most of Texas, not even getting to a wind chill above 30. So, like I said, some really cold air is moving in as we speak at the time of this video. So like I said, just make sure you're geared up and try not to go outside if you really don't have to, regardless of whether you're in those winter storm severity areas that we were talking about towards the beginning of the video. So next thing we'll do here is we'll take a look at our forecast model data here for the precipitation ahead. Here's our current system. We'll be watching that move out by the time you see this video. So have some lake effect snow left over, and then we'll be watching our next storm system over here off to the west. So far, mainly these bigger systems are going to push more so north of the border while they're in the northwest. But we could get some leftover moisture to collide with the low pressure here, get a little clipper system going. But it doesn't look like it's going to be anything incredibly major at the moment, especially not this weekend here. So good news there. And then here's a look at our rainfall potential. This is all the models that we can look at here. NAM 3 kilometer. And for the most part, rainfall, the only spot that I see of interest right now is going to be over towards South Texas. We've had a lot of rain there recently as well, so it's not too surprising. We do see that consistency across all models here. We're mainly seeing probabilities of probably less than an inch at best, so just something to keep an eye on there. Just a little bit of an observation really at this point. This inch of rain isn't going to really do a whole lot. It could ruin some of your plans down here, but with as cold as it being, I wouldn't do too much outside anyway. Then looking at snowfall, of course, we've been talking about these areas. Lake effect regions are going to be the hot spots outside of the Rockies here, and of course over here towards the Sierras. A little bit of snowfall possible over here. Over towards West Virginia seems to be a hot zone here. We may see potentially a couple of those higher elevations get up to a foot. But outside the Appalachians here, not a whole lot to really talk about right now. And then you can pretty much see the congruency across most of the models here. Of course, totals will vary just a little bit. Some models are almost always going to be more aggressive than others. But one thing that I'm definitely seeing a common appearance with is the lake effect bands here. So could be a couple of pockets where we see some isolated higher totals, maybe even more than that. So of course, but those of you that actually live there or have been there long enough, you kind of know the deal at this point. So this is all of the models that we've looked at here, from the Euro through the 3 kilometer, the British models, experimental models, and all. And for the most part, not much has really changed. Just be on the lookout for changing totals as we go through the next day or two in particular in regards to the weekend. So last thing to look at here is the National Weather Service blend of models. Not too much really different there. Totals kind of vary, and I usually will use this to go off of here as far as final totals. About 4 to 6 inches here just off of Lake Michigan here, just off this little notch here in western Michigan in particular. Of course, over towards the Pennsylvania New York line, we could see maybe up to about 3 to 4 inches, maybe even greater. Do see a pocket right here where we could see about 6 inches. Not uncommon for lake effect snow events. And then over here towards New York, of course, which has been a hot spot lately, we could see another 3 inches with locally higher totals possible. Of course, over towards the Appalachians here, not really a surprise, another 6 inches possible there. And then, of course, the big winners will be the Sierras, which have pretty much been active the entire year. Probably some pockets here where we could see about a foot of snow in the higher elevations. And then towards the Rockies, pretty much a similar deal. So that's pretty much all I got for you. Just a quick little rundown of what we can expect this weekend. If you like this format and think I should keep doing it, definitely hit that like button. If you're new and you're seeing this video for the first time, definitely consider subscribing, because we often do videos like this and much more in-depth forecast as well throughout the week. That being said, here, appreciate you all being here. Hope you guys have a good weekend. I'll have a video out for you tomorrow involving the February outlook, so hopefully you're looking forward to that as well. But it's been Tired Metalhead Weatherman. You guys take care and have a good weekend.